Chelsea, come here. You want to do this with me? Hey guys, I'm getting ready to read in the book of Exodus today. We have literally after today, we will have 5 more chapters, and then the book of Exodus will be completely done. And I think my daughter wanted to sit on my lap and read with me. Chelsea. All right, guys. Yep, you can play with that. That's fine. We are chapter 34, and it's about the new stone tablets. So let's get started. The Lord said to Moses, cut 2 stone tablets like the first ones, and I will write on them the words in the morning and stand before me on the mountaintop. No one may go up with you. In fact, no one should be seen anywhere on the mountain. The flocks and herds are not to graze in front of that mountain. Moses cut 2 stone tablets like the first ones. He got up early in the morning, and taking the 2 stone tablets in his hand, he climbed Mount Sinai, just as the Lord had commanded him. The Lord came down in a cloud, stood with him there, and proclaimed the name, the Lord. The Lord passed in front of him and proclaimed, the Lord, compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger and abounding in faithful love and truth, maintaining faithful love to 1,000 generations, forgiving iniquity, rebellion, and sin. But he will not leave the guilty unpunished, bringing the fathers in equity on the children and grandchildren to the 3rd and 4th generation. Moses immediately knelt low on the ground and worshipped. Then he said, my Lord, if I have indeed found favor with you, my Lord, please go with us, even though this is a stiff-necked people. Forgive and claim making a covenant. I will perform wonders in the presence of all your people that have never been done in the whole earth or in any nation. All the people you live among will see the Lord's work, for what I am doing with you is awe-inspiring. Observe what I command you today. I'm going to drive out before you the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Be careful not to make a treaty with the inhabitants of the land that you are going to enter. Otherwise, they will become a snare among you. Instead, you must tear down the altars, smash their sacred pillars, and chop down their Asherah poles. I think that's what that says. Because the Lord is a jealous God. For his reputation, you are never to bow down to another God. He is a jealous God. Do not make a treaty with the inhabitants of the land, or else when they prostitute themselves with their gods and sacrifice to their gods, prostitute themselves with their gods. Do not make cast images of gods for yourselves. Observe the festival of unleavened bread. You are to eat unleavened bread for 7 days at the appointed time in the month of Abib, as I command you. For you came out of Egypt in the month of Abib. The firstborn male from every womb belongs to me, including all your male livestock, the firstborn of cattle and sheep. You may redeem the firstborn of a donkey with a sheep, but if you do not redeem it, break its neck. You must bring all the firstborn of your sons. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. You are to labor 6 days, but you must rest on the 7th day. You must even rest during plowing and harvesting times. Do you want me to set you down? Observe the festival of weeks with the first fruits of the wheat harvest and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the agricultural year. 3 times a year, all your males are to appear before the Lord your God, the God of Israel. For I will drive out nations before you and enlarge your territory. No one twice of the Passover festival must not remain until morning. Bring the best first fruits of your land to the house of the Lord your God. You must not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. The Lord also said to Moses, write down these words, for I have made a covenant with you and with Israel based on these words. Moses was there with the Lord 40 days and 40 nights. He did not do that for me. There's another 40 days and 40 nights. It's the words of covenant on the tablet. Moses' radiant face. As Moses descended from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, as he descended the mountain. Where are you calling? Take it. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a pacifier. Okay, Moses' radiant face. As Moses descended from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hands, as he descended the mountain, he did not realize that the skin of his face shone as a result of his speaking with the Lord. When Aaron and all the Israelites saw Moses, The skin on his face shone. They were afraid to come near him. But Moses called out to them. So Aaron and all the leaders of the community returned to him, and Moses spoke to them. Afterward, all the Israelites came near, and he commanded them to do everything the Lord had told him on Mount Sinai. When Moses had finished speaking with them, he put a veil over his face. But whenever Moses went before the Lord to speak with him, he would remove the veil until he came out. After he came out, he would tell the Israelites what he had been commanded, and the Israelites would see that Moses' face was radiant. But Moses would put the veil over his face again until he went to speak with the Lord. The Sabbath command. 35. Moses assembled the entire Israelite community and said to them, "These are the things that the Lord has commanded you to do. For 6 days work is to be done, but on the seventh day you are to have a holy day, a Sabbath, a complete rest to the Lord. Anyone who does work on it must be executed. Do not light a fire in any of your homes on the Sabbath day." Building the tabernacle. When Moses said to the entire Israelite community, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Take up an offering among you for the Lord. Let everyone whose heart is willing bring this as the Lord's offering: gold, silver, and bronze, scarlet yarn, fine linen, and goat hair, ram skins dyed red, and fine leather, acacia wood," I think that's how you say that, "oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense, and ox and gemstones to the mount on the ephod and breastpiece." I think I said that word correctly, not sure. "Let all the skilled artisans among you come and make everything that the Lord has made. The tabernacle, its tent, its covering, its clasps, its supports, its crossbars, its pillars, and its bases. The ark with its poles, the mercy seat, and the curtain for the screen. The tables with its poles, all its utensils, and the bread of the presence. The lampstand for light with its utensils as lamps, as well as oil for the light. The altar of incense with its poles, the anointing oil, and the fragrant incense. The entryway screen for the entrance to the tabernacle. The altar of burnt offering with its bronze gate, its poles, and all its utensils. The basin with its stand. The hangings of the courtyard, its posts and bases, and the screen for the gate of the courtyard. The tent pegs for the tabernacle, and the tent pegs for the courtyard, along with their ropes and their specially woven garments for ministering in the sanctuary. The holy garments for the priest Aaron, and the garments for his sons to serve as priests. Then the Israelite community left Moses' presence. Everyone whose heart was moved and whose spirit prompted him came and brought an offering to the Lord for the work on the tent of meeting, for all its services and the holy garments. Both men and women came. All who had willing hearts brought brooches, earrings, rings, necklaces, and all kinds of gold jewelry. Everyone who presented a presentation offering of gold to the Lord, everyone who possessed blue, purple, or scarlet yarn, fine linen, or goat hair, ram skins dyed red, or fine leather brought them. Everyone making an offering of silver or bronze brought it as a contribution to the Lord. Everyone who possessed acacia wood, useful for any task in the work, brought it. Every skilled woman spun yarn with her hands and brought it: blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, and all the women whose hearts were moved upon the goat hair by virtue of their skill. The leaders brought onyx and gemstones to the mount on the ephod and breastpiece, as well as the spice, the oil for the light, for the anointing oil, for the fragrant incense. So the Israelites brought a freewill offering to the Lord, all the men and women whose hearts prompted them to bring something for all the work that the Lord through Moses had commanded them to be done. And I don't even know how to say these names. Bezalel and Aholab. Yeah. Moses then said to the Israelites, "Look, the Lord has appointed by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. He has filled him with God's spirits, with wisdom, understanding, and ability, and every kind of craft, to design artistic works and gold. He has also given both him and Aholabab, son of Ahishamak, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with skill to do all the work of a gem cutter, a designer, and embroiderer, in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, and a weaver. They can do every kind of craft and design artistic designs." So that was chapters 34 and 35. Tomorrow I'm going to come back on and we're going to do 36 and 37, which is about making arts, making the table, making the lampstand, or need someone to explain it to you. You are more than welcome to type away and ask me. And we're literally almost out of the book of Exodus. I'm excited to get some of my favorite books in there, like Esther and stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed.